Hi everyone, it's Julie from Sprouts and Stems. Today I'm going to show you how to easily propagate plants. When propagating plants, the most important part of the plant to understand are the nodes. The nodes are the bumps that you see along a stem or vine of a plant. They are where roots, leaves, and aerial roots grow from. Here's an example on my philodendron Brazil. When we propagate plants, we want new roots to grow on the cutting. That means we must include a node on the cutting because remember, new growth comes from the nodes. That's what it means when you hear to cut below the node. If the stem is pointed up towards the ceiling, you would cut below the node so that the node is included on the part you cut off. I also wanted to include a brief explanation of pruning. When you prune a plant, it's usually because you want to encourage new growth. This means you would cut above the node so that the new growth will sprout from that node on the plant. Here's an example of that on my Monstera adansonii, or Swiss cheese plant, where I pruned it back a few weeks ago. You can see the new growth coming in at the nodes. I'm also propagating the cuttings that I pruned off of this plant. After I snipped off these cuttings, I cut off the excess stem on each of the cuttings until about 1/4 inch below a node. This was in order to trigger new growth at the nodes. I chose to propagate my cuttings in water, but another common method is to stick them into some moist sphagnum moss. You'll just have to make sure the moss doesn't completely dry out. You can see there's some nice roots coming in as well as a new leaf. The water is a little gross, but that's just the nature of the beast. If you don't like that, you can replace it now and then with room temperature water. Also, remember to top off the water level when needed. I like to wait until the roots are 2 to 3 inches long before potting them up. The amount of time this takes will vary with different factors like time of year, light level, and plant. But tropical vines like this usually propagate pretty quickly. Once the roots are 2 to 3 inches long, I'll pot them up into a small pot with a general houseplant potting mix and water them thoroughly. You can also even leave the cuttings in water permanently. Just know that they'll probably grow at a much slower pace that way. And that's pretty much it. If this is your first time trying to propagate a plant, I definitely recommend trying a vining plant like I showed in this video, as they're definitely the easiest to propagate and they won't get mad at you for taking cuttings. I hope you enjoyed this easy tutorial on how to propagate plants. Please like and subscribe, and check out the blog post for this video for more helpful propagation details and photos. I'll put the link to that in the description. Thanks so much for watching everyone, and have a great day.